Welcome to the Deep Dive. And just a quick note, today's Deep Dive is brought to you by Access Softtech, the premier provider of digital banking solutions.
Great to be here.
So we're diving into a challenge today. You know that famous quote from Charles de Gaulle, the French leader?
The one about the cheese.
Exactly. How it's impossible to rule a country that makes 400 kinds of cheese. And, well, that hits pretty close to home for us, doesn't it?
It really does, especially when you're talking about product development, specifically digital roadmaps for, say, hundreds of credit unions.
Right. Each one has its own flavor, its own idea of what their digital banking should be,
Right.
their own specific cheese preference, you could say.
Yeah, precisely.
So that's our mission today.
Yeah.
How do you build something really effective, something innovative, when everyone seems to want something slightly different?
It's a huge question, and that 400 kinds of cheese thing, it's not just an analogy. It's sort of the daily reality in digital banking. Every credit union, they have a vision. It's tied to their members, maybe their brand, their, operational quirks.
Yeah.
And that makes building one thing for everyone, well, it's a massive challenge.
Oh, definitely. And it's not abstract. We've talked about this example before, something like Skip a Pay.
Right. Seems simple on the surface.
You'd think, but ask 10 credit unions how it should work, you'll probably get, 10 different answers?
Easily, yeah. The user experience, the rules behind it. I mean, we've seen cases where one credit union wants it as a lifeline, for members struggling.
Right.
And another wants it positioned as like a reward for loyalty or good payment history.
Totally different philosophies driving the same feature name. It really shows that diversity in action. So, okay, given that everyone wants their own cheese, how does the industry usually try to, satisfy everyone? What are the typical plays?
Well, you tend to see a few main strategies. First, there's what you might call the our way method.
Yeah.
The provider basically says, here's the solution, take it or leave it. Maybe you can change the colors or something minor.
Minimal customization. Simple for the provider, I guess.
Simple for them, yeah, but often frustrating for the credit union that wants something more tailored.
Right. What else?
Then you've got the SDK approach, software development kits.
Ah, right. Giving them the tools to build it themselves.
Exactly. If the credit union has their own developers, they can use the SDK to build custom features on top of the platform. Maximum flexibility.
What hooks have word requires a lot of internal resources, right? Time, money, expertise.
Huge internal lift, yeah. Not every credit union can do that. And then the third main way is configurable products.
So lots of settings, switches and dials.
Pretty much. The product comes with built-in options, toggles, settings that let the credit union tweak the behavior to some extent. It's quicker than SDKs, but you're still limited to the options the provider thought to include. You might not be able to do something truly unique or innovative if it wasn't pre-configured as an option.
Okay, so we have our way, SDKs for custom builds, and configurable products with settings. Each offers something, but like you said, the problem is often collective, isn't it? It's just focusing on these individual solutions the best way to get innovation for everyone. Or is there maybe something else?
That's a really important point because, focusing only on individual customization might miss the most impactful solution, which is actually building a community, getting the credit unions together to collaborate on the roadmap.
A community approach.
Interesting. Yeah, it's often overlooked. People start out with diverse ideas, sure, the 400 cheeses again. But what we found is that through focused discussion, through debate within that community, agreement can emerge.
So instead of just taking orders, you facilitate a conversation.
Exactly. They might share their different cheese preferences and realize there's a common ingredient they all need. Or maybe even invent a whole new super cheese together that works better for everyone.
Collective wisdom.
It leverages collective wisdom, absolutely. It can lead to solutions no single credit union would have thought of on their own.
That sounds powerful. But let's be real, getting competitors, essentially, to agree on a shared direction, that sounds challenging.
Oh, it is challenging, no doubt. It requires a shift in the provider's role.
How so? What does that mean for us or any provider taking this approach?
Well, our role changes. We're not just order takers or builders anymore. We become facilitators.
Okay.
It's about actively listening, really hearing all those unique visions. It's about informing them what's technically feasible, what are the trade-offs. It's about fostering, healthy debate.
And guiding them towards
Consensus, helping them form it. We're not dictating. We're guiding the discovery process so they can find the best path together.
I see. So it's less about imposing a single view and more about enabling a shared one to emerge. But does that mean you ditch the other options? Like, what if they just can't agree on something?
No, not at all. That's key. This community approach is the ideal, the most powerful way forward. But when consensus isn't practical for a specific feature or timeline, then yes, absolutely, we still need and offer those individual configuration options, the settings, the SDKs. Flexibility is still important.
Got it. So it's like community first, configuration second.
That's a good way to put it. We find everyone benefits more when we operate as a cooperating community. It's not just, easier for us. It genuinely leads to a better, more innovative roadmap for all the credit unions involved.
Because it's built on that shared vision, that collective intelligence.
Exactly. It really moves the needle.
That's a really strong takeaway. The power of community, of finding consensus, even when you start with wildly different needs, overcoming that 400 cheese problem together, not just individually.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does.
Maybe consider, what other areas, maybe in your professional life, maybe even personal life, could benefit from that shift. Moving from just individual demands to a more collaborative community way to find the best path forward.
A provocative thought to end on. Something for you all to mull over. Thanks for digging into this with me.
My pleasure.